See, you bite your tongue. What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing? Man, welcome.
Peace.
Man, welcome. We in here, man. People's Network presents Outlaw Radio. So we doing our thing, man. It's a Thursday night edition. Come on in. It's getting cold. We just coming
on in.
Coming to you. That's right. Coming to you from the 414 perspective, and you know it's getting cold, right? Mm-hmm. So people, keep your coat in the trunk. Don't let it get you. You know what I'm saying? The sun be shining, but you're in Milwaukee, right? You know what I'm saying? So do your thing. Cant Get Right is the name of the show tonight. So we're gonna touch a little bit on that. I am Brother Talk to Teach. Listen and learn, your true transfer engineer. I'm out here doing what I can as a natural man, y'all. So I'm gonna have to do that again in a moment because I did not know that Facebook wasn't on. So what's going on, Facebook? What's up, Facebook Outlaws? What's up, YouTube Outlaws? Welcome to People's Network presents Outlaw Radio Thursday night edition. I am Brother Talk to Teach, listen and learn, your true transfer engineer. Like I said, I'm doing what I can out here as a natural man. And so Cant Get Right's the name of the show tonight, but we got the the usual suspects here, man. Bro, tell the people about yourself.
Peace, y'all. How y'all feeling out there? I'm hoping all is well. I am the black woman's lover, the black man's brother, the culture teacher, hood healer, your holistic health and wellness coach, Kamar Carter. Peace, y'all. Yeah. Make sure y'all check out that Nature's Mature Herbs and Supplements at the Vegan Expo on the 26th, November 26th. Peace, reign truth. Peace to reign truth.
All right. Shout out.
All right, Kevin. How you doing, man?
His brother ran out of air. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, World Class Smartass. Been running a little bit late, a little bit behind. Hit like, hit share, hit follow, share the show, man. Let the people know we're doing what we do. It's Outlaw Radio. Can't Get Right on a Thursday night. It's cold. It's rainy. It's wintertime. Hot girl summer is gone, right? So it's time to get down to the meat and potatoes of the year.
Fat boy fall.
Yeah. So I wanted to
Fat boy fall.
I wanted to start the show off by giving Elijah Cummings, Representative Elijah Cummings, his just due.
Okay.
He passed today at 68 years old.
Yes, Baltimore.
If you don't know who he is, he's just a brother who was representative of the legislative part of what we talk about all the time. Like, things won't change unless we add a legislative hook to it, if we're going to operate within this democracy type stuff. So here's a brother who was on the front lines for a long time, trying to make sure everything was everything. So you got to give him his respect. You can criticize him. He's a member of the Black Caucus. We criticize the Black Caucus. We criticize, black politicians in every shape, form, or fashion. We do it all the time. Yes. But, I want to give his brother his rest in peace. Condolences to the family. God bless you. Travel well.
Yes.
Peace. Brother Cummings. Right, so we have to start it off like that. It is Outlaw Radio. We do shout out we support black businesses. If you see 3041 North hanging in the background, you can see the Outlaw Radio signature. And what we do, we start out on Wednesdays. We do the Warrior Report with my brother Kamar and myself, and it's all about black wellness. Trying to take care of what's inside, right?
Warrior Report.
So then we move on to Thursday nights where we can be our normal asshole selves and say what we want to say, and have people say, when I see dude, I'm gonna cuss him out. But the only disclaimer you'll ever get is the opinions expressed on Outlaw Radio are solely those of the motherfucker that said it.
Right.
So you should know who to be mad at, right? So don't blame me for something, right?
About what can I say?
Right.
I'm a grown ass man over there, right?
Because I probably didn't say it.
I give you his number.
Sound checking. Okay. So we're trying out something different with our sound tonight. So make sure we are, real clear to our microphones.
Check 1 2.
Right.
1 2. Check.
Right.
Microphone.
We'll make sure the sound is clear. Share the show, man. It's Outlaw Radio, man. Can't Get Right. Shout out to 3041 North. Shout out to Rain Truth, the Next Level Vegans. Vegan Fest coming up. People saying, "Wow, all of a sudden we're having all these vegetarians on the show."
New on Next Level Vegan. They got something new now. They got Miss Caroline Carter.
Okay.
She's a good friend of mine too. She's like a well-known raw vegan chef.
All right.
Right.
So now she's working with the Next Level Vegan.
Okay.
Today was the first day where they got an actual raw meal there.
Now, forgive my ignorance, right? Okay. You
Raw
said
vegan.
a raw
Raw.
vegan chef, right?
Yeah.
So like, and again, because I don't know, right? So we got a chef to know how to make a lot of different salads, like because it's all raw food.
Well,
You're not
it's
cooking.
like, okay, like today she's got a pesto dip or something like that what she uses, right?
Mm.
And it goes good with these. She Anna got some noodles made out of beans, some kind of beans, I'm not sure.
I've heard of that.
You know, and so they got a meal like that. And it's a way that she prepared the dip to make it go with the meal. Then she got some other stuff that she put on top of it.
Right.
And it's a raw meal.
We're going to talk about
she's
vegetarian dips on the Warrior Report, though. On Outlaw Radio, we be here to talk shit and swallow spit.
Right.
All my people
Man,
like,
don't get it mixed up. All right, don't
Me
get
and
it mixed
Jason,
up.
hey, me and Jaden got on a personal conversation.
Last night. Like,
I forgot we was on there.
This is Outlaw Radio, man. We upset and pissed off, man. And some people say it's better to be pissed off than pissed on.
Hello.
I don't know which side you wear, but I'm saying, you know, can't get right. Black people can't get right. Every situation we put ourselves in, it gets bad. Every time we try, you take 2 steps forward, you take 3 steps back. For some odd reason in this country, black people can't seem to get it right. Whether it's how we eat, whether it's how we live, you know, financially, emotionally, mentally, physically. It's all over the place. And it's just like, damn. Now, of course, if anybody is older than 30, then they know this comes from the movie Life, in which Bokeem Woodbine's character he could hit a baseball, but he has some mental health deficiencies, and they call him Cant Get Right. Because in their mind, he was off.
Right.
But he ended up getting out of prison and going playing pro baseball. So he finally did get right. They called him Cant Get Right, but he got right.
He got out.
Right. Well, we don't know what happened.
Right. We don't know if it ended up being right.
We don't know.
He got out.
He didn't work for a long time after that. So I don't know what happened. Shout out to Bokeem Woodbine, man.
That can mean you played the hell out that role. You know what I'm saying?
But we ain't gonna hire you. Can't get right. So welcome to the show, man. If you got something to say, chime in.
Do that.
Participate in the conversation, man. It's a man's world. This is a man's show. We roll with the sisters. I see Dia Green.
What's up?
She said, "Peace, y'all. We got to get the poetry
Peace,
pusher
Dia.
back."
All right, come on.
She came on here and represented
Yes,
the
she
estrogen very well.
Very well.
And she wasn't too upset when I had to break it to her that it ain't no females in the top 50 all time.
Well, she's saying that T.I. disagreed with you.
Right,
You know
right. Because, you know, that's what T.I. does. But, you know, I'm just saying. It's Outlaw Radio, man. It's time to let it loose, man. It's time to let it go, man. Whatever you got to say it, because we won't be on Saturday night. So whatever y'all got to say tonight, get it off your chest. But I just don't want to talk about no water chestnuts wrapped up in dandelion roots with blue vervain sprinkled over the top.
Hey,
Look,
man,
wait,
man.
you sound like you've been taking notes, man.
Right, yeah.
You got a whole recipe,
the seed is planted. The seed is
Let's talk
planted.
about a greasy ass
10
bag
years
with
from
some
now,
fries
hey,
and
10
an
years
Italian
from now,
beef
let's see
sandwich.
what Kevin doing.
Yeah, high blood pressure and high cholesterol.
No, I think he's gonna get it right because the seed is planted. You see, he already know what
he talk crazy,
I'm
but
conscious as hell.
I already know what he
when's the last time you ate a pork chop?
This morning.
You lying.
Well,
Stop.
don't ask me then. If you don't want me to lie, you don't ever ask me no question. People are pissed off in Milwaukee right now. I need to know what people out there think about this. Tell your friends the show's on. Let us know y'all want to get down with us. Everybody's pissed off. Everybody has an opinion about what happened at Mayfair Mall last Sunday. And we just had this, we started, part of the reason we were late, which I do apologize for, we were late because we got to pontificating in the pregame in the locker room about, you know, certain things. And one of the things is, where does the line of accountability go with what happened at Mayfair? Because you have some children, I call them children, teenagers, what have you, youths, having, once again, another incident in Mayfair, which, let's be honest, the rule that they have in place was put in place about 10, 12 years ago because of young black teens in the mall doing whatever it is that young black teens do. Now, you know, is it unfair that they're not allowed to be teenagers? Yeah, it is. But, you know, it's a lot on the line. And we got to start teaching our kids that there's a lot on the line. You actually mean something. You're the future. Y'all the future. We have to start. I don't think they believe it. I think they believe they're the right now because they laugh at old people. Think about it. Youngsters don't respect nothing old. No, that's old. That's old. That's old. I don't. It could be like 2 years ago. They'd be like, that's old. Nobody, you know. So it's like, okay, you have to understand that getting old is something that's necessary because then that means we have representation in the future. And I don't believe they believe in tomorrow because I don't think they see value long term. My theory is that they're saying it's all about right now. What was they saying? And I know this is old in itself. What was it? What was it? Drake came out with YOLO. You only live once. You know, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we know that. But now the question becomes, though, what we gonna do about it? Because we're about to talk about a bunch of shit everybody knows.
Right. No, we're not inventing the wheel out here, right? You know what I'm saying? We're going to say something that's been said before pretty much. Right. But hopefully we can say it in a way that you can relate to. One of us. Because we all want to be in the same place, but we just disagree on how to get there.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is where you have a platform in which you can really say what you want to say.
Right.
It's not filtered. I'm unbought and unbossed. Nobody can tell us what to do with our platform. We can say whatever we want to say.
Yeah. And they try too, right? You know what I'm saying?
You know, some shooters.
You cuss too much. Right. And, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I never understood that shit.
Right. But I don't like all the motherfucking curse words and shit either. You know what I mean?
And if profanity bothers you, please try to filter through it, right? And try to
listen. Instead, try to listen to the content of what we're saying. You know what I mean? And because that might be the language of the people that we're speaking to. When you in Spain, you speak Spanish, right?
And we simulcast it because our YouTube is up as well.
Yeah.
Subscribe to our YouTube page. It's raggedy as shit. It looks like the projects. It's beat down. Like there's no other way to put it. Like not on our presentation because our membership sucks. Like, and we don't get a lot of views.
Well, because everybody comes to Facebook. Like we get some pretty decent numbers sometime on Facebook, but you know.
Now somebody's in here says Mike FD says Trump 2020. Hey man, whatever floats your boat, I guess. If that's what you want, like, am I supposed to get excited?
Here's the thing: I think he's on the wrong page. Like he turned into
or he might just be a troll. You know, hey, shoot the show, Mike.
Ray Mendoza say, "How do you expect them to look for tomorrow if they can't find today?"
I agree, totally agree.
Well, and let's go back.
Shout out to we didn't shout them out. The violence interruption. 414 Life.
Real life. Shout out.
But we gotta all go back. We gotta go back and remember how we was at that age too, right? Y'all reasonable now. You like they like fuck that, but I think a 17-year-old you at 17, we was like fuck that too.
You don't bring up 17.
And you know, as we got older, we understood how you gain knowledge, you gain information, you gain wisdom as you get older.
So we gotta keep these young people safe for long enough for them to get older. Right, somehow, you know what I'm saying? Somehow, and then maybe they have a different viewpoint.
Well, I always say, first of all, you know, we gotta live what we preach. You know, we gotta live it. If we want them to be peaceful, we got to show peace.
We gotta give them an example.
Exactly.
What we asking
for. Right. Because you know, humans need a visual a lot of the time to learn something. You know what I mean? You need to be able to see it. So, you know what I mean? Like, even with math, you want to write it down so you can actually see it.
Most of us need that.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, so visuals help. You know what I mean? Even in just our morals and how we act and everything. You know, we need
But we get distracted so easily because all day I'm seeing these posts and I'm seeing messages of people talking about this pastor and the video. And somehow late in the day, this video came down my timeline. This pastor, supposedly he's a pastor, right?
Right.
He's on a post where he is engaged in some intense oral sex.
Yeah, and he's speaking in tongues.
Is it? See, I didn't hear it. I didn't turn it up. Is he? What is that a joke? He's speaking in tongues because he's cunnilingus, or was he really speaking?
Well, first of all, speaking in tongues is a joke altogether. Stop it. Stop it. It's a game. It's a game to begin with, right?
Okay.
And even if you're into your Bible and you look into that sort of thing, your Bible tells you that's the least of the gifts. Right? It's not, it doesn't take a lot for that. So stop.
So I'm saying, but you said he was speaking into, I thought he meant really been saying.
Here's the thing.
Because I didn't even really watch it that long.
Didn't watch it. I read the caption. I seen the picture. I think I watched about 12 seconds of it. That was kind of all I needed.
Right.
If I want to watch porn, I'll watch some real porn. Like I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying?
I think it's ironic that all this popping out like this right after the girl got shot by the police officer through a fucking window. She in the house playing a video game.
Right.
Now that's the second one that got killed in your own house.
She didn't die though, did she? I don't think she died.
I think from what I heard, yeah. But either or, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, she did. He did kill her. he murdered her.
My understanding
And
is
then he quit.
that she
And
died.
then he quit his job.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm
But
saying?
quitting your job ain't enough. You need to go to jail.
But my thing is, you know what I mean? This all this silly shit about the pastor. Yeah, it's fucked up. It's been doing dumb shit. Pastor's still
long time
in these women inboxes. You know what I'm saying?
For a long time, and nothing new.
You know what I'm saying? This shit's been going on. That ain't nothing new. But they put this out here about one. You know what I'm saying? And it's right during this moment when the black girl
is he from? He's not from here. I don't
know.
think.
I don't think.
He's not from Milwaukee.
No, I don't think that's taking any shine away. I think that's
that's a distraction.
That's
a distraction.
Listen, so is Monday Night Football, right? You know what I mean? And so is it's all a distraction, right? You know what I mean?
But the way we take shit like this, but the way we take shit like this though, you know what I mean? Like ain't nobody talking about this girl who got shot in her house. I ain't seen none of that on my timeline. No. But I'm seeing the pastor all up and down.
I don't. I seen it on my time. I mean, there's some people that's really involved in that, and there's upset about that. Real talk. So now I got some of what you talking about too, but I know it's some folks out there, man, that's feeling some kind of way about this,
right?
About the one, because we're not even safe in our homes now, right? And so at some point or another, when we gonna do something collectively, I'm waiting. You know what I mean? At some point or another, and I'm not talking about killing nobody or you know.
We don't know how to check our ego.
We won't even do something simple like boycott a business and support our own.
Well, that's where I want to go back to Mayfair.
That's simple,
and I didn't even.
That's simple.
You know what? And
and it don't take long.
The comments.
It won't take long to get them out of there.
I'm trying to look at Brother Mendoza asking a question. He says, "Did he get charged with murder?" He asked me.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay, but we seen somebody that just happened, and she got 10 years,
exactly.
and she'll get out in 3 with good behavior, and then we saw the whole debacle, right, with the hugs and the doing her hair and all that. And I wanted to even ask y'all that, right?
This type shit though, he should get the chair if they got that shit, man. She in her house, he outside, he shot through the glass.
Well, we switching around. So you're talking about down in Texas. There was another shooting of
the woman that was killed in her own home playing a video game with her grandson,
with her nephew or something like that.
But it was, so we just to let people know where we at, because that's what they're talking about now. Because we started with Mayfair and slid all the way across the floor.
We was talking about the past.
I know. Then we talked about the past.
So but we was just letting it got us distracted. So we let you know how easy, good of a distraction it is, right?
Yeah.
Black people can't get right. So
some of us can't.
Right. And shout out to Ray Mendoza. He says, remember at 17, and old heads that stood on us and taught us. Yeah, we did. We had that, man. And there was a code. Our community was a lot more structured.
But our reaction was a lot like these young brothers' reaction.
And then again, also, you know what I mean? I attribute it to all that mass incarceration stuff that we went through, man.
Took generations,
you know what I mean? So it was a lot of brothers that couldn't be out here.
Come on, man.
To you know what I'm saying? To take that spot to teach us what we was taught,
which affected the family,
or to teach them what we was taught. Right. You know what I'm saying?
So there's no pawpaws and grannies out there. There's generations of them missing. No big mamas out there, right? You know what I'm saying? So you know that affected us down the line, but they knew it though. Like so, let's hold them accountable. That was part of their plan. It's been proven. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we know they're doing the BS, right? So I understand holding ourselves accountable, but at some point or another, we got to bring them to task too, because everything is cause and effect.
Okay.
And a lot of what we're seeing is the effect, not the cause.
And shout out to anybody watching the show right now. It's Outlaw Radio. We try to represent Milwaukee.
We do.
We try to give black men and people of color a platform to speak on, so that we can write our own narratives. Let me make sure everything is everything, because I don't know if I'm having some difficulties. I just want to make sure. Okay, we're good.
All right,
we're good.
Well, I had to come in with me saying dumb shit.
Right.
Haberdashery.
But so what should be done? So let's go all the way back to the beginning before we get loose. What should be done about what's going on in the community, in particular, because this is just one of many incidents that has occurred at Mayfair, right? That involve people of color, law enforcement, security, what have you. So then what should be done at Mayfair? Is this, now, in my mind, I would think that this is a case of total economic boycott, no matter what.
But why won't it happen here in Milwaukee? Right?
That's a very good question.
Why in Milwaukee you can't get 13 people together to jump off a curb, right? You know what I'm saying, in unison. It just don't happen. But they'll spend the night outside the store for the new Jays, you know what I'm saying, for the new Xbox game or what. So, you know, I don't
Without
understand.
Judging anybody.
No, I mean, listen, man, your priorities are what they are. So if I say it out loud and it makes you uncomfortable because I say it out loud, too bad.
Okay.
I'm gonna add something to it before I take it back.
Right.
We need to toughen our skin anyway.
Man.
That's another issue that's going on out here, man. Everybody too sensitive.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what?
That's the new masculinity.
Because somebody said faggot. Oh, now they can't be a comedian.
Look, he said the word and he said the word and they was like,
and the motherfucker went out.
Right.
Facebook on some bullshit lately, man.
Let me tell you,
I
man.
can't comment on nothing. I can't do nothing.
Yeah, we back. Yeah. YouTube. What's going on? What's going on, man? He said the word like it's certain groups that you can't come against.
Yeah, you know, man, I was just saying that too. It's too sensitive out here. We need to fix that.
Yeah, so I don't know how that works, but you know,
you say that drop the new Fbomb,
hey,
and the system go down.
You know, so I didn't, you know, yeah.
Shout out to everybody who was tuning in with us. I see some people caught us right back.
Come on, man.
I don't know. It's the internet, man. It does what it wants to do. In particular with us,
alphabet soup.
When we seem like we make a little bit of sense.
Alphabet soup.
But it is a continuation of Outlaw Radio, man. I'm to the point where I don't even get frustrated about it anymore.
No, we can't.
Because it is what it is.
Cry, spilled milk.
Right. You do your job and you worry about the rest as it goes along, man.
Hey.
So I hope everybody else who's watching the show has managed to catch up with us. I see Brother Talk come back in. So
yes, sir. That's me.
Let me know if it stops functioning. A lot of people joining, coming back in. Look, I don't make the rules.
Appreciate y'all coming back. Appreciate y'all coming back.
Because I never can tell. I never can tell.
But again, this is a good reason why you might want to check out the YouTube page, right? Because YouTube
don't never drop,
right. You know what I'm saying?
YouTube
I won't say never,
crash,
but you know, it certainly don't crash as much as Facebook. So if you want a more secure connection and you want to, keep hearing what we talking about, going over and check out the YouTube page
and share the show.
Hit share. You know what I'm saying?
Let people know we still live.
Yeah, for sure.
Every now and then I got to go under the hood and work out some kinks, so I'll figure out what this is, what the latest issue is.
Yeah.
But it's still Outlaw Radio. Can't Get Right. On a Thursday night, we were discussing the Mayfair incident. We were discussing what needs to be done about the continuous egregious behavior by security and law enforcement. And, let's not discount the fact that black dollar makes up a lot of money in Wauwatosa. It adds up, because your sneakers and your hats and your
without the black dollar, they close.
Right. So I don't know if we can show them better than we can tell them.
Well, when we get our stuff together,
right?
You know what I'm saying, and we can unify and operate as a unit. You know what I'm saying, as one, and stop with all the silos and I ain't gonna make that nigga rich and all. Just the hatred that we got towards one another. I don't expect it to happen overnight, but I sure would like for it to.
The one thing about it is you can't claim in this fact, like, well, the prices is so much cheaper because they're going to tax the hell out of you for whatever you buy out there, right?
Not to mention that hit you got for driving out there, you know what I'm saying?
Right, if you out there and you ain't right.
They pulled your ass over and got you to the place.
So what is it? This should involve, if nothing else, total economic blackout for Bayshore. I'm sorry, for Mayfair.
Mayfair.
And Wauwatosa in general, I guess, if we're going to take it there.
Real talk.
Which is actually, not far from where I'm located, so it's easy. But I can also do without too. See, I still go to Midtown for whatever's left there. Like I'll still go to Pick and Save in Midtown. I'll still go to Foot Locker, even though that side of that facility looks like a ghost town, and it's very disheartening to see. That kind of economic deterioration in the city. That
comes from the leadership, the city leadership.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying. We got people in office, and some of them have hue in their pigmentation. You know what I'm saying? So shame on you. You know what I mean? But you do nothing and get paid.
And you're an incumbent.
Right. So over and over again. Yeah. But here's the thing. But that's not youth. Right. So when youth looks at that and they see that, do they really want to listen to you giving them advice?
I don't think so.
Would you?
You know what? I look at it like this. I think that desperation has just become the norm. So people don't really even they don't even look on the bright side no more. That's like a foregone conclusion. But you don't even hear people even say that no more. Look on the bright side.
You know what they say instead?
Fuck it.
It is what it is.
Right. It is what it is.
It is what it is. And I always follow that up, but it ain't what It ain't what
Right.
it will be.
Right.
It ain't what it has to be. We
Right.
can make that change, right? Yeah. Not just accepting and saying it is what it is. Because while we saying it is what it is, they got a plan and a blueprint. They got this shit figured out. We need to try to figure out how to disrupt what they doing.
And I want to talk about the north side slaughterhouse, the proposed slaughterhouse that they want to put on the north side. And it's a shame that our signal collapsed because we had a bunch of people in with us. So I don't know. I need to put that off because I need to get a few more people in here before we talk about the slaughterhouse.
Go ahead, man.
I'll switch gears. We'll get back to that because, like I said, I think people got to catch back up to us because our signal dropped.
I'm telling you, man, you need to have just a picture of a great big booty. And then when something like that happens, you just post the booty and then everybody will click back in and we get a whole lot of new listeners.
I don't know.
Hey, y'all know I'm telling the truth.
Right. But that's an idea, right? Let us know what y'all think should
the
be
Hotep
done.
Strippers.
Right. Well, revolutionarybooty.com.
Hey, that's what's up.
It's going down,
Yeah,
right?
That sounds like a t-shirt.
So no, Outlaw Radio is back, man. We are. I know we dropped our signal. I want people to come in because I really want to talk about what's going on the north side, right? Because we talk about unemployment, and we talk about the lack of opportunity, and we talk about a disenfranchised community. These are potential jobs, but the people are arguing that perhaps the side effects or the drawbacks of this are what makes it
Drawbacks of what?
bad. The slaughterhouse, the proposed facility being built in Century City. Now we know the old A.O. Smith industrial complex, Tower Automotive. Fed City, and a lot of us are still. Some of our grandparents still right. Yeah. They still getting pensions from it, right?
Not me, but that was
me neither. Because my dad never worked there.
Yeah.
But I'm saying for a long time that was kind of like, and that and many other industrial facilities were
Master Lock, A.O. Smith,
all that stuff.
Yeah. Come on now.
All these industrial structures in the city held the city up. Now for a long time it's been like, what are we gonna do with Century City and whatnot? And the city owns it, and they were supposed to sell the facilities, and it's supposed to be in an industrial park, and we know Tao Go's there. Walker tried to kick them out, but they came back and they have hundreds of millions of dollars in contracts that they'll be doing for the foreseeable future, which provides jobs. But the proposal now from Alderman Khalif Rainey and the people that are what you would call business people in this city say that now let's put this slaughterhouse here, which will employ 350 to 500 people.
Okay.
Right in this immediate area.
Okay.
But the people in the community are like, we don't want no slaughterhouse behind our house. And that's your neighborhood. That's your neighborhood. So a slaughterhouse changes the dynamics in a lot of ways. Because number one, the smell of a slaughterhouse. And it's not just going to stick there. This will ruin capital, I guarantee you. Because the summers I enjoy with the lake breeze and fresh air, it's not going to be that anymore. That's one thing. Then there's some environmental effects. And we don't know what chemicals and processing agents are utilized in the food that we eat. The meat, how they're processing it. So it changes this. So people are saying, well, how could they reject 500 jobs? And the people in the neighborhood are saying, no, we didn't have that before. We don't want it now. Now, do we ignore the waste that Tower was spewing into the air out of their smokestacks and whatever pollutions that they put into the water? That was going down too. Maybe it just didn't smell as bad as guts, but it still smelled like hot metal all the time. There was always something in the air. So what
smelled like $25 an hour
on a lot of cases, right? And even up
plus bonuses, right?
For 40 years,
time and a half on Saturday. Double time on Sundays.
Personally, I feel like it's an attack on us.
Okay, let us know, because that's your neighborhood.
You dig what I'm saying? First of all, I feel like it's an attack on us. It's an attack on our health first and foremost. Okay. You know what I mean? You're gonna put this slaughterhouse here, but that also means I'm guessing they're gonna put it's gonna be a lot. The meat will probably be a lot cheaper. You know? What I mean?
No.
I don't know. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? But my main issue is the health. You know what I mean? I don't know all the logistics. That's why I said my guess. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's an attack on our health, man. They're gonna put this shit right here in our community. It's toxic. That shit getting the air like that. You know what I mean? Nobody gonna smell that.
How many businesses how many offers did they turn down before they decided to consider a slaughterhouse? Right? Because Walker, right? If I'm not mistaken, there was a design going on for a rail to be a rail to be
That's
made
Tao Go.
from here to Madison, Wisconsin, right? So
Nice.
you know what I mean. And so Governor Walker put the kibosh on that, right? Ex-Governor Walker. Right. And so here's the thing. So we don't have to just take the first thing that comes and say, well, jobs, and jump on it, because how many things were turned away before we started even considering this? And I just want to say to Governor Walker, I hope that you live long enough for karma to come back on you, for all the lives that you ruined and all the things that you did in the name of a dollar, all the lies that you told. I just hope, and not any doing of my own, but I hope karma has the opportunity.
Well, you know the thing about karma, it's gonna follow you to your next life. Listen,
I want it to happen to him in this life. You know what I'm saying? Listen,
you want to see
just like Reagan, right? You know, Reagan did all that he did. He caught Alzheimer's to the point where he couldn't even remember he was the president.
That's what I'm saying.
That's immediate gratification. That's what I want to see.
So the question becomes, we're talking about,
I digress.
500 jobs in the city, in an impoverished community where economic resuscitation is needed. And that's very important. Right now, we're talking about sustainable jobs. We're talking about family sustaining incomes. Now, shout out to Keith Terry, who owns 3041 North, because he was at the meeting.
Yes, he
was.
And
he was raising hell along with Mama Terry. We all, if you're from over there, you know, she was on there as well, speaking against it. And Keith was saying, like, you know, I don't think it's a good idea. She even referenced the chicken slaughterhouse in Mississippi that they built, a large plant that they built down there some years back. And she was talking about the smell and all this kind of stuff. So what's the trade-off? Now, should we hit the road, turn them down, and go and try to find something else that will produce these jobs?
Yes.
And turn that away.
Yes, that's not the only those not the only options, right? It's not slaughterhouse or poverty. Like,
you know, it used to be one here in Milwaukee before, years ago. My mother used to actually work at one. You know what I mean? Now, it helped us at that point. You know what I mean? Because she was bringing chicken and all that stuff home. You know what I'm saying, for food.
So is that something else? Now, one thing that Brother Terry references that, okay, so they're saying these jobs will be between $14, $15 an hour entry level, and he was saying, you know, just because the jobs are there, that still doesn't mean they're going to hire people from the community.
Good money.
They're not necessarily going to hire people from the community. So, my question would be: is there some way, which I know that the answer is no, that you can't curb the smell? A slaughterhouse is a slaughterhouse.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna stink.
It wasn't
a smell like shit.
It wasn't a slaughterhouse, but do anybody remember when Ambrosia was downtown? Listen, that chocolate stank.
And the breweries, and tanneries.
Tanneries.
In the Manhattan, where Potawatomi is now.
And that was not rotting flesh.
No.
Right? And so let's understand what it is.
You smelling death in the air.
It's exactly what it is.
You know what I mean? Like, I've been, when my mother worked at that slaughterhouse years ago, I've been there. And I remember the stench.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to smell that when I come out the house.
No, man, stop.
And then, they
wouldn't want it in their neighborhood.
And they didn't have it in their neighborhood. It was down by the lake somewhere.
They don't want it in their neighborhood, so don't put it in
way down there by the lake somewhere. Wasn't no houses around.
Now, here's the thing. Now, because they take pride and make use of the prisons that's built, right, for them. And they count, the census is taken, and they use the people in the prison for them to get funding. And so they like that.
Right.
But here we turned that down too, right? Wasn't it a situation, and if I'm not mistaken, where
they had a problem with them building a correctional facility.
And they was going to build a correctional
for the youth out on what is that? Good Hope.
So how many jobs would that bring, right? And so my point is, there are other options. Like, we don't have to take the first thing they give us, especially when it's death.
I don't know if they've come with anything to replace the correctional facility out there in that area. You know, it's all about replacing stuff, right? Like, so
keep that revenue coming,
right? So what I haven't heard an alternative plan, and that hasn't totally been shut down yet. That whole correctional thing, and it's on the low, right? So we don't even know what's actually going to happen.
Well,
but I mean, I like for people to tell me
Yeah, some of y'all know more than we
show.
do. Let us know about it.
I mean, would you, if it was gonna bring some money to the city, would you mind smelling guts and
All money ain't good.
and meat processing in the evening when you come home? I don't think people. I think once it was built, people would be like, "Oh hell no!"
Right. What about in the summertime when you want to go out in your yard, right? You enjoy your space, your house that you pay a mortgage on, and you can't even be comfortable in your backyard because it stank.
Right.
Stop. I lived on 36, right, for a long time, just right across the street.
And you know how that down the street down there on at the Checkers where all them seagulls at on top of the bus station. Can you imagine how it's gonna be?
Wow, right.
It's gonna be a lot
right down the street from there.
Yeah. So the he got it right.
Them birds is moving. They leave. They gonna leave. They gonna leave that bus station.
Come on, man. Yeah.
That's a new joint.
You know what I mean?
So listen. So no,
I
I don't think we need to take that. I think we can wait for a better offer. It ain't doing nothing now. Your Governor Walker ruined that. He killed all the promising things that they had going on, and maybe we can go revisit some of that stuff since he got his ass out of there.
Right.
Or we got his ass out of there.
Well, Tao Go is still making trains there now. He shut down the bid for them to make the trains for the line you were talking about.
Yeah.
But they've since secured 2 different contracts. One was from trains in San Francisco, and there's another one for, I think it's Canada, where they have like hundreds of millions of dollars worth of contracts. They're actually functioning right now. They're one of the only
I wouldn't
live tenants.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
So he didn't totally. He did it at that time.
He tried
and then, right, and then he didn't get. They still came through.
Yeah, that's that karma.
So like this is something that's important. Now, I seen black people so mad they were saying Khalif Rainey needs to resign, and I'm like, Khalif Rainey needs to resign. Should his ass be on the line?
Is he an incumbent?
He is an incumbent.
I heard you say one time, all incumbents.
He's newer though.
Oh,
he might not be an incumbent because I don't think he's
running
running for re-election
I don't
yet.
know. That's why
this might be his first race.
Okay.
Because he came in with the new blood, the last wave that came into, because he was a county supervisor. So, but people are upset with him, and he's saying like, but I think with Khalif it's one of the things where maybe he don't totally understand it. Like I don't think he really understands the smell or what's gonna smell like, and also think maybe he don't live over there.
I was gonna say he don't live over there. He probably don't give a damn, right? You know, he gonna get in his nice car and go to his nice house in his nice suburb, right?
I was concerned that might be the thing with brother Khalif. People are saying he should. Now, is he wrong for trying something when nothing has been attempted?
Nothing's been attempted?
Well, up to this point, with Century City and rejuvenating that community, I guess the proposed sale of some buildings. Well, they fixed up one that's a warehouse. It's fully kitted, but they can't.
But they didn't fix it up to be a warehouse. They have other plans for it.
Well, no, at first it was supposed to just be a building where you come in, but then they said no, let's make it into something.
Right.
So they put some money in it. But his point was, it's very hard to attract businesses to that area of the city, which is probably a valid point. But that's problematic. And that's something the mayor should be really proactive about. Like, what? No, we're going to get some. And he's kind of like over that thing. As people are over that Century City project.
The mayor's not interested in doing anything that's going to benefit Milwaukee.
It's looking that way.
Let me tell you, like, stop. Like, he has a whole deal made. He's going to do his downtown thing, and he's going to expand the little trolley as far as he can get it to go. And he can suck all the money out of the schools and act like they have no money to clean the water and all that. But that damn trolley, right? You know what I'm saying? So he's going to do that. We've seen it. It's obvious.
I don't think he intentionally wanted Century City to fail. But I think now that it is failing, he does not know what to do about it.
No, I think
he invested in it because he thought, well, this will help. Because what was sitting there was just a big ass eyesore that was just rotten for years.
I heard somebody go to one of the meetings, right, and give an impassioned speech, and I wish I had commented on it. It was on the People's News Network, I'm sure. But
was that the budget?
But they told him exactly what was happening in the Black community. And they told him exactly how we were being affected by what he's doing. And listen, he knows.
No.
He doesn't care.
He knows. I'm saying I don't think he planned it and said it's gonna fail. I'm gonna screw him. I think he said no. This will work. This will help them. Now that it's failing, I don't think he's a forward-thinking leader enough to say, I got a plan.
I think giving him too much benefit of the doubt because I'm sure he sat in too many of them meetings and said, well, this is how we can divert some of the money from Milwaukee, right? And we can take some of the money that's going into these inner cities and take it downtown, right? Because you know that's happened, right? So he's not
in
dumb.
regards to Central City and Century City, we're talking about.
I'm talking about. I did include downtown. No. I'm talking about funds that have been diverted from black communities and inner city, right? And then to downtown. He's done that. He's done it on purpose, and he's well aware.
He's totally guilty.
And he's well aware of how that affects the black community. So let's not give him the benefit of it like he didn't know. He knows.
I don't think he thought Century City would fail like it has.
The devil's not dumb.
Because then because they even put some city shit over there. Because there's
what made some sign.
What is that? Like the trucks with the dumpsters or there's some heavy
City Milwaukee stuff.
Right, it's over there. So I don't think he drew that up, and I think he would hope that it would work, but it's not. And I don't think he's as good enough leader to just say, "I can fix this." Now that it's gone, I think one of the things he's doing is bailing on him. Like that shit ain't got nothing to do with me. Y'all better figure something out.
Had everything to do with
because they're gonna have to do something about this if it continues to go the way it's going. Mm-hmm. And you know, Eden has left that area, right? And at one time, Eden was over there, and there was the aerospace engineering place over there. Century City bought. I think that's the Eden building. That's part of Century City as well. Remember that big ass? It's like on 27th, and right off Capitol. So they own that building as well. So something got to shake. I know that unemployment is in there, DWD is in there, but it's all city. It's all organizations from the city. It's like, no, how come we can't get suitors? Which you got Amazon sitting, what, an hour away? As a mayor, why can't you smooth the right people to say, hey, just build a warehouse in Century City?
He's smoozing the people that can expand the trolley.
Not enough because they turning that shit down.
But because everybody realizes how ridiculous that is, right? Especially when you claim you don't have money for so many other things that are so much more important, like lives.
Tax incremental funds, baby. It's the best thing.
Well, they're gonna get the All-Star game. Maybe they should build some hotels there.
Well, it's hotels popping up because they don't have right now. They don't have enough hotel rooms for the DNC.
So there'll be hotels popping up all over.
They're popping up everywhere.
Throw them up right there.
Oh, it's going down.
See how we find money for that?
Well, that's contractors moving in with big business like Hilton and Marcus. But you got to get zoning and you got to get all kinds of permits.
And the mayor can do it. The mayor can get the permits.
So you got to be down with him.
He's not handcuffed. Let's stop acting like he doesn't have. That's not what he wants.
Got to be down with him. You got to do business. I mean, business is business.
Let me say, you stop it. Like I think you give him way too much credit. You mean us harm.
Oh, okay.
You mean us harm.
I'm not. I don't know that I gave him credit.
I'm talking about him.
Okay. I don't know that I gave him
means
credit.
the black community harm.
He's done. The city's been harmful to people of color for a very long time.
And we've learned to accept.
And it started before him, but he kind of inherited a shit sandwich.
Oh yeah, well,
it wasn't like it was sweet when he got it.
Here's the thing: he inherited the shit sandwich and then fed it to us. He went and had filet mignon.
Milwaukee's been screwed up for a very long time. I don't know if you listening. Let me know how long you've been here.
Forever.
It's well since we got here.
Pretty much.
I just don't think all this stuff is so
Milwaukee's right. Milwaukee's been fucked up since Milwaukee's been.
For black people, yeah, it's been all bad since we got here, man. From just the original segregation and discrimination we was met with when we got
to the new segregation.
Right. So, but like I say, you say people give him too much credit. I think people like underestimate him because I don't think he's as dumb as people think he is.
Oh yeah.
So when I look at something like Century City, because even politically, that's something that in your favor. Like if you bring a bunch of business, that's more money for the coffer.
Let me ask you.
So for it to fail, I think right now he's just running in circles. Like, what are we gonna do about this? And Khalif says, "I got an idea. I just talked to Strauss Company, and they said they are willing to build a slaughterhouse here. The community needs the jobs. We need the tax dollars.
Some other kind of factory.
It has to be.
Here, I tell you what. How about this? Even before you even get it, let's just call this bluff, right? So if you're going to build a slaughterhouse, right? How can you guarantee a certain number from the people of this community
are gonna get them jobs.
Will be employed. How can you guarantee, right, that the people in this community will get the contracts, right? You know what I mean, to do the building? How can you put that in writing? And you won't do that, so I'm not even worried about
and that's what Keith was saying. Brother Terry was saying, like, you know, just because they say it's jobs don't even mean they're gonna hire us.
It is jobs for them,
right?
Just like the police, so they can come way out here, do their work, and then get in their cars and go way back home and take the money right out of your community and put it in theirs. It's in their playbook. Stop. It's not new.
Along the lines of you referenced the People's News Network.
Yes.
And which, if you don't know, that's the Facebook group that's like our connected to what we do.
Yeah.
And there was I put the post in there because there was an NFL player who apparently he wanted to get it kicked off with black women. And I don't know why we go through this every now and then with somebody that are like going against black women or whatever. They don't like black women, or so he kicks off this post about, you know, somebody asked why do black men always tend to, you know, get a white woman when they get successful, which is something we've heard a million times, right? Like, ain't that the ultimate stereotype that successful black men have to always go and get a white woman, right? So he asked this question, but I thought the answer, which came from another NFL player, was probably what made this so funny. Is that because he came on and said, well, black women don't want to be coached.
They're not coachable.
They don't want to be trained. They don't know how to act. Like, they won't get their ass in line. Like, he went at sisters about this, right? And I was like, wow, how much of this is true? Like, of course, off the top, it sounds stupid. It sounds dumb for another black man to say that about a black woman.
Right.
But then I said, was any of this true? But it has to be a thing because it's been said so many times. Everybody ain't telling the same lie, I'm saying. And I'm not.
I think, you know, it's with the individual, like with him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe he don't know how to lead.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And women pick up on that. You know what I mean? You get brothers out here, you know what I'm saying? They want a good woman, and all that. And they get one, but they don't know how to lead. They ain't got no direction. They don't know what they want out of life.
Right.
So, of course, she ain't going to fall in line.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to do this.
Falling in line.
But like you said, if you know what I mean, they don't know how to fall in line. And, you know,
they don't know how to act.
So, of course, she won't fall in line. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know how to lead that line.
I don't, you know what? His name was Antonio Trail, right?
I don't even know who dude. Never heard of him.
He's not somebody who's a star, but apparently he's getting a check.
He probably won't be there long anyway.
Who knows where he's going to end up at, right?
Probably won't be there long. No
but
way.
he asked a question via social media, and another NFL player, and I can't remember, I don't have his name. He's the one who responded and said, basically, you know, black women don't know how to play their position, right? Like, they need to get somewhere and sit down, shut up, and be coachable. And some sisters was commenting saying, you know, but they kind of echo what you said about some dudes not being able to lead, or some cats not really being qualified,
or they don't feel protected.
Right. So
our sisters need that. We see what's going on.
But at the same time, make sure you're talking to your mic too, because we all linked in through the mic tonight. I put it through the interface. But isn't some truth to the fact that black women need some straightening? Is there some truth to it?
Well, I mean, I think it could go both ways. You know what I'm saying? Really, like it's some work that they could take, that they could do. It's some work that we can do.
Okay.
You know, it go both ways.
But we ain't talking about us now. We talking about them. So it ain't gonna be nice about it.
Well, that was the answer.
And
I wasn't being politically correct.
It sounds like you ain't want to offend no girl.
No, that's my truth.
Okay.
That's you know what I'm saying. That's my truth.
Do you think black women need some straightening? They need to fall back.
We all need some straightening.
Once again,
but no, hold on. But let me finish. Yeah. So to answer your question, yes, right?
Okay. Okay.
But before they come and be, because I heard the sister say, you know, because he also referenced the broken households they was coming from. Well, the little boys come from those same broken households, right?
Right.
So I get that. But our women a little bit extra
sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And probably because they've had to be. You know what I'm saying? And so, and when you talk about them feeling safe and protected from us, we can't protect them.
Right.
The police can come in the houses and we can't protect them.
Then you got some women that's been so damaged. I mean, they don't know how to let you protect them. They
Real
don't know how to let you do what you
so that's
systematically they had to stand up and be the strong.
So that's why I say
so. The one who run the house, and
I hear two different conversations coming from black men, because I hear the one we have in public, and then I hear the one we have when we ain't in public. And when I'm in the barbershop and brothers get to talking about women, brothers complain about sisters. Not on the level where they like, we ain't messing with them no more, but they complain about black women. You can't tell them nothing. They hard-headed, they headstrong. And this is the narrative coming from real brothers who got sisters that they've been with for years. Like, man, and in a lot of cases, it's not necessarily that they're yamming on all black women. Right. They talk about the black woman that they have.
Okay, right. Listen, every time we speak, first we got to understand that every time we speak, it's all coming from our experiences. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. Our understandings, it's not everybody's, it's not all inclusive. It's just what you understand because of what happened to you, right? And so, yes, brothers probably have a lot of experiences, you know what I'm saying? Let me tell you, when I was in church, and just saying I was dating or whatever, there was two, I used to call these the black woman curse words, right? Because I would save myself a whole lot of time. You talk to a sister about obedience and submission.
Right. Ooh, don't say submission.
Listen, submission and obedience, you're going to save yourself a whole lot of time, because most of the time,
they're going to
listen, they're going to excuse themselves from that relationship before
after they read you.
Right. Okay. Oh, yeah, because they're going to tell you about yourself, how you not, worthy of being, submitted to, and you ain't leading, and all the stuff we saying, they don't feel safe and protect. They won't say that. They'll put it in different terms.
I'm going to be the one on the panel to go out there and say this.
Okay.
The black family structure is weaker than it's ever been.
By design.
Marriage in the black community is down.
By design.
Those that do get married have a very high divorce rate.
Mm-hmm.
Morality in itself is very low.
Yes, sir.
And it doesn't weigh real high on people's scale.
Right.
Now, I want to say this about black women.
Uh-oh.
Were they forced to be tough? Yeah, they had to be, just like we were via the crack epidemic and whatnot, and Jim Crowism. Mm-hmm. But I will say this: black women do a little bit too much nowadays too, in assault of black masculinity, and I think that a lot of women exist to try and either be a man's equal or put a man in his place, which is to do as a woman, which
not what you're built for,
which gives rise to the fact that you will tell me that you don't like men, but you will go and get the girl who looks like an ugly man, right? You're confused. And
like
you
girl that look like a fat boy,
right? Wait, and shout out to fat dudes.
Fat boy Paul.
Wait, I had a woman tell me one time, yeah, that's all great. You know what I'm saying? You get this stud or whatever, and she acting this, that, and the other way. But I she still can't help me when I need a spider kill. You know what I'm saying? She still, you know what I mean? You butched up and everything, but you still scared to kill a spider. But, well, and some of them is go eat.
Now, once again, I'm not assaulting lesbianism. What I'm saying is this now has become a norm in the community where you see a sister who maybe has a son, and she'll go and get quote unquote married to this stud and bring that woman in the house, like, yeah, and tell the boy, you're supposed to bow down to her. She's your parent. She's your other mother, right? And the boy will be totally confused by it. There's a reason why somebody like Pharrell is wearing this dress.
Talk about the new masculinity.
You constantly want to
redefine. Don't believe that shit. Hey, the devil's a lie.
Right. So there's a movement, a conscious movement.
The devil's a lie.
There's a conscious movement,
especially the pink one.
There's a conscious movement in this country to water down and even eradicate masculinity in general, but black masculinity especially. And you give it titles like toxic and this and that. But see, there's pros and cons to masculinity. Being macho, there's pros and cons to it. But it's the same thing with femininity.
Then you bring this.
It's the same thing with femininity. So I don't walk around saying that's toxic femininity. That's toxic femininity. So when I talk about these brothers saying this about sisters, now I would never say this to utilize as a justification for you to abandon the black woman and go chasing whatever it is you need to find with other races. Because I think everything a black man
we trying to get on the black man
comes from
but we said
a black woman.
Just talking about the black.
I believe black women. We need black women, but I don't lie to people or things that I love. and since I love black women in general, I will tell a black woman, y'all need to stay in y'all place. You need to understand what your role is now. Okay, so when we blur them gender lines, that's when we have Pharrells. That's when we have little dudes on the corner with zest, because the line is blurred. Let's make this line solid, okay? And it's all about respect. This is only my opinion.
It's simple, man.
It's all about respect. You respect me as a man, and I will respect you as a woman. And a real man will respect a real woman, right? But you touched on it with the music and the movies and the culture when you're hot girl this and what she said on the song. I told him to send me a stack, and I sent him a picture of somebody else coochie. That's what Megan Thee Stallion said. She said, then you gotta listen, because the women are telling us how they feel, and they're on some, I'm doing the same shit you doing. You can't do what a man does.
But let me tell you, that's been the problem. You weren't created to do what we do better than us. You were created to do the things that we can't do. Stop trying
like childbirth.
Hello. Nurturing, right? You know what I'm saying?
Like breast milk.
Because let me tell you, what we're talking about is some universal laws. So to me, it's as ridiculous to say new masculinity is to say new gravity.
Ain't no new, can't be new
masculinity. This is the new gravity. It's not the new gravity. It's the same old ass gravity. It's a fucking thing that one of the things that make the world turn the way it does. So no, there's no such thing as that.
And if you want to understand it, go jump off a porch or something. You don't, and it's the same old gravity. And when your ass feel like everybody else who did that shit.
And whether you're good or bad, Christian or Muslim, black, it's still one of the things that black women need to understand is stop clinging on and accepting the white woman's plight. That's not your fight. You see what I'm saying? When you start getting all bossing up, you being black men are not oppressing you. Black men don't have nothing to do with you making less than the man that has black men ain't doing that. You caught on and associated yourself with this white woman's plight. But black men ain't doing that. That's their fight. That wasn't never your fight.
Demonstration.
Absolutely.
Black women got caught up in.
Yeah, and they got caught up in it. So we need to understand for each other. You black women, you need to understand and try to study, go look into, talk to your man about the plight that he's going through. And he needs to do the same thing for her. But see, she needs to
how about talk about all that before the relationship even gets started?
Well, I'm just saying, not even in a relationship, just as a black woman to understand a black man if he's just crossing the street from you, not that y'all even have to have a relationship, so just you can understand what's going on around you and stop accepting the narrative that's been given to you.
Definitely. Hey, I want to get back on something about, you know what I mean, with the football player, how he was, you know, the stuff he was talking about.
He was dumb. He sounded dumb.
And when I talk about that, I want to speak on my experience, right?
Yes.
Now, years ago, those were the women I was meeting. You know what I mean? When I was living that lifestyle, when I was thinking these other thoughts, when I was, you know what I'm saying? When I was vibrating lower, you know what I'm saying? So all that, you know what I mean? Drinking. I was meeting women that was doing the same shit. You know what I mean? So I was foul. They was foul. They doing the same shit. They doing the shit that I'm thinking about that I don't want. You know what I mean? They doing the same shit that I'm thinking about that they don't want. You know what I'm saying? So I get back to, you know what I mean, you get what you give. If this the type of way you thinking, that's what you're gonna get. Because now when I look at my life now and the type of women that I meet now, it's completely different.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't meet the argumentative women. I don't be talking to the women that don't know their place. And you know what I'm saying, want to take my place. And you know what I'm saying? So I think what I've been seeing in my life is once I started changing, making moves about myself, I started attracting women that's been making moves about themselves.
There's something to that.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't push back on that. Yeah.
And like I look at it with me, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to talk to a girl if I feel like she don't got this level of self-love about herself, and there's certain things I'm looking for when I say that. You know what I mean? I don't even want to talk to her. I don't even want to get involved with her. So you
talk to them, but you just don't. They got a short leash. It's just.
Exactly, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I could talk to her, I could talk to her better, and I get a chance to get to know her. These are the type of women now. Even if it don't work, I still feel like that was a dope woman. You know what I mean? I don't feel like it didn't work because she was foul or I was foul. I just feel like, you know what I mean, our what we wanted out of life didn't align. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't match.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that way I'm not walking away looking bitter. She's not walking away looking bitter. Because, you know what I mean? I feel like we got a different understanding now because I got a better thing what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Now, every so often I do meet some women. You know what I'm saying?
I know you do.
Like that.
You get,
but for the most
like you
part,
said, you got a short hook with them.
You know what I mean?
You're not going to entertain that energy too long.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah.
But I just need, in addition to what you're saying, to piggyback on what you're saying, I just need, I would like to see black women understand, right? You in that office and you got that supervisor position, and it's one black dude that worked there, and it's not all on your own merit, right? You're less threatening than Tyrone or Leroy. You know what I'm saying? They would rather see pants or that skirt walking around the office. They're gonna get rid of the black man before they get rid of you. They're gonna promote you. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying don't get all high on your horse like you doing big things. There's a reason. You see what I'm saying? And so you have to also understand that, you know, in order to make their quota of how many black people they need to have in the office, let's just say I'm pulling stuff out the sky. Let's just say it's 3, right? They're gonna hire 2 women. They're gonna promote to, you see what I'm saying? So it's not that the black men
or they may hire the gay black man.
Oh, hello, that's what I'm saying.
Or they may hire the gay black man.
I'm just waiting for the black woman to look across the aisle and understand what's happening. You know what I'm saying? And stop feeling so empowered over because even when y'all get home, there's a special kind of black woman that can be your supervisor. You see what I'm saying? In the office, and go home and still let you be the man of the house. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, she got to be there in herself, though.
You see what I'm saying?
Her mindset has to be right.
Right.
You know, for some reason, I'm back to square one with my technical difficulties. My Facebook is failing me, and I got so much to say.
We told y'all to go to YouTube,
and yeah, but that's why we got to beef up the YouTube audience. Yeah. I'm gonna call it for tonight because I don't like to do this, and I don't know. I got to figure out what's the problem with all of this. You know, you do 30 in a row flawlessly, and then you have one like this. In the meantime, in between time, hit like, hit share, hit follow, man. We'll figure this out. I'll probably throw an extra show in because we won't have a show Saturday night. So I'll talk with the fellas and we'll see because my time is slowly coming back to me. My schedule is evening out. So I'll get this straightened out and we'll probably do another show sometimes early next week. Maybe we'll bop in on you on a Monday or something. I don't know. Talk to the brothers and see. But man, be on the lookout for us. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for watching.
Man, appreciate the love. Thank all of y'all, man. Like the family is growing. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate y'all love, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will see y'all when I see y'all, which I won't know just yet. But I tell you, we're gonna show up and show out.
I'll be
so I'm gonna holler at y'all.
Peace. That's what's up.
I tell you what my next expense will be.
We done? You all?
I know exactly what my next expense
I have to pee, man. I'm sorry, y'all.
I'll see you.